Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Crypto Marketing Insights. Today by the music of Mini Vandals and a title song, Elevator. Hope you like it. Hope this makes you go into a good mood. Well, if you like what's going on in crypto today, you should. And there's a lot of reasons why what's happening today is kind of exciting. So let's jump right into this. But before we do, let me remind you, this song is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. And this is not a financial advice show. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Be sure to do your own research. Don't invest in anything you can't afford to lose. And this show, anyway, isn't about financial advice. It's about marketing insights on the blockchain and crypto marketing insights. So let's take a quick look, shall we, at today's exciting happenings in the market real quick. You can see that the numbers are up largely in the top 10. The only exception to that is Tron. I'm not counting Tether. But yeah, in the top 10, discounting Tron, Tether, the only one that's actually down is Tron by 1% or so, 1 and a bit percent. But generally speaking, the coins are up a little bit from yesterday after they rose significantly in the past 48 hours, 48 hours or so, and they are now in a direction that seems to be steadily moving up. Litecoin is seen as one of the reasons that the market has been jumping up recently. Was it entirely up to Litecoin? I don't think it's ever one thing only, but there is clearly a correlation between certain coins and Bitcoin and Litecoin, very much so. And so yeah, when good news for Litecoin pumped the price, arguably, we saw the effect happen across the wider network. Let's see what's happening here. Getting some interesting messages from the network. Everybody can hear us in our VIP room. You guys are there all across the board. I see you guys are there. Hello, hello. If anybody is here on YouTube, you're welcome. We welcome you. Hello. It's a pleasure to have you. Hope you like Marketing Insights and listening to us on YouTube. And yeah, hope you find it interesting. So aside from the actual market, which has gone up a little bit, and Bitcoin dominance went down a bit further, it's now sitting at about 51.5%. The market cap is 133.5 billion. Aside from all of that exciting news, right, it's nice to see some numbers go up a little bit. If you're invested in this and you're looking for the upside. Of course, if you're looking for accumulation, it's not good, right? When the prices are going up, you're probably thinking, oh, I wish I had more time to buy more at low prices. Well, I guess you better get buying if that's your thing, or whatever. Good luck to you. Whatever you're doing, do it the way you want, not the way anyone else tells you to. But let's see, what is interesting here? There is some news. Oh yes, let's start actually not with the news from Colorado, but the news from Trezor. Trezor, the maker of some pretty popular crypto hardware wallets, including the Model T, has announced that the firmware updates are now including support for XRP. So if you hold XRP, commonly miscalled Ripple, right? It's because it was created by Ripple, but it's actually a separate currency. XRP is now able to be stored on the Trezor Model T, which is great news if you have a Trezor Model T and you have XRP, because until now you had to have a separate solution for your XRP. You couldn't keep it on the same wallet as you might keep other coins or tokens. So if you have a Trezor Model T, you can now add your XRP to it. Okay, that's the news. You can read all about this, all about the details right here on Crypto Ninjas. The links are in the description, as always. I hope you guys are seeing this well, because we're seeing some strange messages here that say that you're not seeing it well. So we hope that that data is incorrect. You guys can see us well in the VIP room. Can you guys can? Great. Good. So I hope it's going out well on YouTube, is all I can hope. Well, that's what you get for using a free network, folks. If you want to see the high quality version, you can always join the VIP room. Hopefully YouTube bandwidth will be not in for a long time, just like people were wondering why that was, and they were wondering what Binance or wherever, why can't I store it on that one? And for whatever reason, it wasn't available, but now it is. So there you go. If you were looking for, that as a solution, XRP wallet, or what XRP support, you can check out reviews for all the crypto wallets, the one you want, and it's just generally, a good idea to review products before you choose to buy one. Popular crypto wallets, and one of the most tested crypto wallets out there on the market today. So that's good news, and it's also great news for crypto and blockchain projects, right? I've been saying now for a while, if you've been listening, that this is the time when the gears are changing, and we're still in the technically, a bear market in terms of momentum and everything else. We're entering the bull market already. Who knows? But we're definitely at some kind of a nadir. Like, regardless of whether we go down any further again before we start going up or not, we're definitely at some kind of a low point overall, compared to the past, year and a half, right? So, therefore, this is the time for marketing people to be doing things that make a difference. And here's a perfect example of something that makes a difference, right? By adding the number 2 coin right now to one of the most popular hardware wallets, it makes it a lot easier. And also, now that XRP is available for purchase on like Coinbase, right? And you can also buy directly on Binance with your credit card, or whatever, your credit card. There are more ways than ever to acquire like XRP, as well as any other altcoin that's available on, Coinbase is like 10 coins available, and Binance, where there's hundreds of coins available. It's very easy now to on-ramp with your credit card directly to put your money on an exchange, buy the cryptos you want, if it's one of those exchanges that's not on your wallet already, and then move it from your exchange to your wallet. And now you've got more support on this one, right, for example. So there's more and more smart wallet makers who are doing these kind of smart moves, adding popular cryptos to their wallets, in preparation for the market that is coming, right? The people who aren't in yet, or the people who've sold out and are waiting to come back, maybe, right? And all the people who've never been in at all, who are, don't even know about it, right? Those people are going to have a lot more options in a good way, not confusing, but just support options. Like, oh yeah, you bought that, sure, no problem, we support that. That's good for the market. So it's good marketing, good use case, a good example of smart marketing right there. And I thought that is worthy of being discussed and mentioned. So everybody in the VIP room, chew on that, okay? Let's put that one to the test today. Here's another topic that is, I think, very interesting. From Invest in Blockchain, well, a bunch of outlets cover this, but here's the one from Invest in Blockchain, the nice cute picture, or whatever, artsy picture of Brad Garlinghouse and a coin with JPM written on it, right? A JPM coin artist rendition, I guess, of a thing. Anyway, the article is that Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, as pictured here, has questioned the value, really, about JPM Coin, saying, quote, "I don't understand what problem JPM Coin solves." He was speaking yesterday at a conference, the, what is it called? The Digital Commerce, or the Chamber of Digital Commerce conference that he spoke at. I think it was in, where is it, San Francisco, right? Or something like that. I think it's somewhere, California, I think. No, it was in Washington. Sorry, yeah, it was in Washington. The Chamber of Digital Commerce's DC Blockchain Summit in Washington, and he spoke about the coin. Obviously, didn't have the nicest things to say about JPM Coin, which is obviously trying to compete with XRP, but he didn't totally bash it. He said, it's not. He didn't trash it, really. He just said he didn't understand what is the use case. Who's it going to be used by? What's the purpose of it? I mean, really, it's just a legitimate question. Question saying, I don't really see the purpose of it because I don't understand it. It's a yes. Is it a sleight of hand? Maybe, but it's very diplomatically done, or it's done very diplomatically, and it makes clear that Ripple is the kind of company that is willing to do business regardless of who the competitors are, and they're not going to get, called into any kind of ridiculous name calling or silly thing like that, which some interviewers like to, bring out of people because it's good for their show or their ratings, or the controversy is good for the headlines or whatever. I'm not saying that was the case here. I'm just saying that does happen a lot, and there are many reporters who try to get, big players to say controversial remarks. That's quite a common thing in many media across many cultures. Again, I'm not saying that's what happened at this conference, right? He was just asked a question and responded to it honestly. But there are reporters and there are interviewers who do try to do that thing, and by giving this kind of answer, he's displaying once again the sort of responsible nature, the trustworthy nature of Ripple, and the way they run their business, and trying to give people confidence that XRP is not just a separate thing from Ripple, but it's a legitimate cryptocurrency and is used by Ripple and its clients, which are a lot of banks, a growing number of banks and businesses around the world, right? It's a very serious, responsible kind of thing. And that's really good for their marketing brand. It's really good for their story arc. And without having to think about it, obviously, right? No one should have to think that, that's just normal behavior. But that normal behavior is good for the marketing brand, especially in an ecosystem where there is so much abnormal behavior. When you look at all the ego wars that have happened in recent months and years. I'm not going to get into saying who they are, but if you know anything about this space, you can look up controversy fairly easily, right? There's no shortage of it. So by displaying a reluctance to get into any kind of that kind of behavior, I think Brad Garlinghouse did a huge good service for Ripple and for XRP and for the whole ecosystem in this particular conference. And again, it doesn't matter if you hate XRP or not. It doesn't matter if you think it's the devil's coin, right? I mean, just mentioning XRP will probably get negative comments on places like YouTube or Twitter. And it'll also get positive comments. I mean, it gets both. It's a very controversial coin in many respects for whatever reason. But they're displaying, responsible behavior, regardless of what you think of them. That's just an observable fact, Hard to deny it. Could they be doing things behind the scene that you don't like, or even in your face that are very public that you don't like, yeah, sure, we're free to disagree on that. But at least give them the credit that they are not, going low on a regular basis to try to take out the competition in like negative ways, by mudslinging or things like that. They're just not doing that. They're trying to build something of real value and have it deliver real value to their business, right? And to their customers, right? So think what you will of them. I'm not, whatever. It's good marketing. That's the point. And it's very smart of Brad Garlinghouse to speak this way when asked about this topic. I really think, by basically saying, look, the JPM coin is just a stable coin. Basically he's saying what I've been saying, which is it's an internal accounting tool to optimize profitability. Right? He just said it in a different way. He doesn't understand what problem it solves. Like, what is the JPM ledger solving? What does it do? Nothing. I mean, it just makes them maybe optimize some payment routing or conversion, or who knows, very obscure financial stuff. That might be great for the bottom line of JP Morgan. That's true. But it doesn't necessarily solve a real world problem that needs to be solved immediately. Like, JP Morgan is plenty profitable. I don't think you have to worry about them making more money. They'll figure out how always. Right? That's their job. So good for Brad Garlinghouse. Good for Ripple. Good for the blockchain ecosystem for having a serious player like this in its midst. Right? No matter what you think of these guys. And I am definitely not part of the XRP fanboy club. Like, I'm not, enamored by banks. Let's just say it that way. But I view XRP as solving a real problem and making the experience, not reducing international. That they should be given the opportunity. Everyone has the right to try to succeed. And I think these guys do too. As much as it pains me to say, save the banks in some ways, because I certainly remember the frustration and anger that so many people had towards banks at many points in the last 10, 20 years. That I can certainly understand why people don't want these guys to succeed. But you have to recognize a good thing and give credit where it's due. And I maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments what you think. But I really think, my opinion is, these guys are trying to do a good thing. And you can see it in the way that they market themselves, and you can see it in the way that they responsibly answer questions that would otherwise bring out usually very negative type of language from a lot of existing players in crypto. And that negative language doesn't help, even if you think you're scoring a win for the snazzy headline of the day. You're not doing good for the long-term reputation by trashing other valuable projects. These guys are smarter than that. You got to recognize that. That's all I'm saying. So I recognize that. And it's good marketing. You should know about it. And the last story of the day is really kind of in two parts. I'll put the link to the second one down there, maybe, but maybe not. This is actually a story now on CoinDesk. There was a related story earlier too. Don't change. This story on CoinDesk is about how lawmakers in Colorado are looking at blockchain to manage water rights. Okay, why is that interesting? Well, Colorado has just recently announced through its governor, I think it was February 27th or so. All right, let's take a look here. And this other story, I guess I'll put this in the description now. Jared Polis, the governor, last week on the 27th of February, announced that blockchain is open for business in Colorado. Like, you can run a blockchain business there, and They're putting forward something called the Cryptocurrency Exemption Colorado Digital Token Act. Well, that's a mouthful. The idea is to create a common sense exemption to security laws for innovative programs producing products that should not be labeled as securities. Okay, so that's good clarity right there to some degree. But of course, it's just a political statement because it's not yet the law. He intends to sign the law, right? So still not signed. But it would make utility tokens exempt from securities registration under Colorado Securities Act. Right? So if you're dealing with digital tokens from a broker, dealer, or salesperson licensing requirements under the CSA, you're now exempt, right? Thanks to this act. So that's good news. And also the bill passed the House and Senate unanimously. And if you look at the bigger picture, what is the impact, really, of enabling companies to do business in Colorado? Well, there's a growing number of states, Colorado, Wyoming, where else? In Ohio, you can remit some taxes. New York, never mind New York, poor New York. We love New York. I love New York, but you can't do business there with crypto. It's just really horrible. It's sad. It's very difficult. I know you can, but it's very difficult. And also the other ways are all like people use VPNs or whatever they do to get around, So if you're in New York, I guess you have solutions for that, but it's just ridiculous. The financial capital of the world doesn't have Bitcoin or blockchain business in many avenues yet. It's just crazy. So Colorado, right? Open for Bitcoin and now open for blockchain. And now you've got them looking at using blockchain to manage water rights, which again is wonderful for the ecosystem. But it's classic government behavior. And of course it is. That's what they have to do, right? So they see an opportunity, revenues through blockchain. So they welcome blockchain. And then the first thing they do is they look at one of the most important things that any state or city or country has, and that is water. Right? Makes sense. Water is a natural resource. It's vital to the survival of any jurisdiction. So by looking at managing water rights with the blockchain, government is doing what it does best, which is ensuring its survival and growth by putting in better ways to collect more revenue from water. Of course, there are other things that they will be able to do with this. Right? They'll be able to have better academic research done on water management rights. They'll be able to have better studies done on regulatory issues about water rights. They'll be able to offer better data. Department of the Environment, Environmental Protection Agency, Homeland Security. There's no shortage. Every is in one way or the other concerned with water. Right, even the Department of Defense cares about water, right? Because it's important, right? There's issues to do with water all the time. So it's one of those projects that's huge to it, right? Managing the water rights. It's one of those things that's done usually by a relatively small number of people, all in all, and has implications for every person in that jurisdiction. Because everybody, right? We are made of water and other things. And everybody drinks water, and everybody yada, 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 using the technology thing that helps, in theory, society, civilization. And they ought to be commended for this. And I do. I think it is a great use case of blockchain. An incredibly important use case of blockchain. And the marketing aspect of showing people that something as basic and important and vital as water and water rights management can and is being done by a government agency, the state of Colorado, right? The Colorado Water Institute, the institute affiliated with Colorado State University, and all these other groups, right? And literally the legislature of Colorado, all of these groups and institutions are putting their trust in the trustless technology, right? In the technology that does not require trust, because the technology solves the trust issue. Because you can know that the technology works by looking at the code. Of course, if you don't know how to code, well, you should learn, or you should just trust that the trustless technology works, and you should really learn about how that is. That way, you know whether it works or not. So yeah, there you go. That is the exciting news. I'm just going to wrap it up on that note. I'm going to just say that's that for now. There's so much going on, but these are stories I thought you should be aware of today because they really are significant in their impact in the marketing aspect of blockchain, and they absolutely will make an impact in how companies are able to market blockchain products and blockchain services, right? Because if you think about it, what is the impact of a government agency like the state of Colorado managing water rights with the blockchain on any business that does anything with water? And can you think of a business that, I mean, other than, you know, like what? There are a lot of businesses that use water, right? Restaurants, tour operators, water adventure operators, rafting companies, which apparently is a thing in Colorado on the Colorado River, right? Fishing companies, fishing-related companies, anything to do with anything in construction or carpentry, you know, masonry, stone, I don't know, bricklaying. You can't make bricks without water, right? You need material, requires water, you know. The earth has water in it. You need to extract water out of stuff. I mean, it's a very important thing in construction. It's a very important thing in retail business. It's a very important thing in consumer goods. It's a very important thing in perishables. It's a very important thing in just about everything we do. Pharmaceuticals, you know. Think about it. So, yeah, water is immensely huge. And again, it affects so many businesses in a state where water is such a big deal. And you know, yes, there's plenty of rain in Colorado, plenty of snow in Colorado. They're not lacking humidity compared to many other places on Earth. But that's even why it's more of a big deal in a sense, because they're going to use blockchain to manage water in a place where water is, in some places rather abundant, right? In some places not, right? Yeah, in the deserts, it's not so abundant. But okay, all right. That's why these stories, I think, are interesting for marketing and why hopefully they shed some insights. If you guys have any questions, of course, in the VIP lounge, make sure you say what you have to say. We're always here for that. And if you've been listening to this on YouTube, again, welcome. Feel free to say hi if you want. Feel free to apply for the VIP access. But like you should know, we have a huge waiting list, so it's very unlikely, even in the next 6 months, anybody will get into that. So you just probably easier if you just tune into YouTube if that's where you have been watching us or listening to us, and that's fine. You can, by the way, we have blockchain related, you can support the channel in exchange for like t-shirts, custom t-shirts. I've got some blockchain designs that I put out for custom t-shirts, and we even do unique ones when you make a supporting contribution. You don't need to, of course, it's all free, but we like to give things. We like to give things to people. So for anybody who wants to send in any kind of support, we thank you. It helps us make more content, and it lets us give you some swag and other stuff and cool benefits. You can check us out on Patreon as well if you want, and sign up there for support. And again, in exchange for stuff, obviously good membership type stuff. And that pretty much is going to do it for today. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button or the notification bell icon if you are on our YouTube channel, so that you can get the latest videos from us. You'll see that subscribe button right there on the top of the channel, or normally there'll be a little bell here if you're logged in. And that is going to do it, folks. So remember, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, hope you're making the most of it, having a great time, and that you're having a great, wonderful day marketing. And until next time, folks, take care.